Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Happy Friday, everyone. Today is the 23rd of July, at least here where I am. And we're going to take a look at the full moon that we have tonight. Here on the East Coast of the U.S., it's at 10:38 p.m. In California, it is 2 in the morning, I think, on Saturday. So we're depending on where you are on the planet as to when this full moon occurs, what day and what time. But it is a full moon in Aquarius, and it is the first of two, actually. And let's take a look at the chart. We'll look at the chart first and see some specifics to the chart. And then we'll pull some cards on it because full moons are points of illumination. So as this is the chart for Washington, D.C., so this is for the U.S. This chart is for the U.S. And we have a Pisces rising. We have Neptune on that ascendant, and we also have Pallas Athena there in a conjunction to Neptune. Here is the moon in Aquarius, opposite the sun in Leo. Of course, the sun is in the sign of its rulership, so the sun is powerfully placed always in Leo. And the moon is sandwiched between Pluto and Saturn. Now, we have Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn in Aquarius. And both Pluto and Saturn are archetypes of death, actually. Pluto being the lord of the underworld, the king or the lord of hell, the hell realms. And of course, Saturn is often depicted as the Grim Reaper. Saturn is the planet associated with time and the fact that our time is limited, at least in our third dimensional reality and in the incarnation that we're in. So we have both of these specters with, sandwiched with this moon sandwiched between. So to say that we're being asked to be aware of our own mortality in this full moon is actually probably one of the things that we're learning about in this full moon. So there are other things happening with this full moon as well. Hold on one second. I'll be right back, guys. Hi. The full moon in Aquarius is a great time to hang out with friends, and that was my friend who just called, so she's coming over to hang out. She took my advice in my morning walk through the garden. So yeah, so we have this moon sandwiched between these two really heavyweight energies. Both energies in their nature really are talking about the responsibility that we have as a member of society to take that into consideration. I think, that sun in Leo is very much like, my rights. This is, I have agency over my own life. I am the lord of my domain, perhaps, which is all true. But we don't live on an island, and well, some of us live on islands, but we're not an island unto ourselves. We need the interaction of others, and we have to interact with others, and we have to be aware of, to a certain extent, what is the boundaries around the boundaries that we need to have, and the responsibility of us being in a collective. So this full moon does do that, does bring those energies up. We also have a number of things also going on. We still have Saturn-Uranus square here. This Saturn-Uranus square, as in its relationship to Saturn and Uranus is in a disseminating side square. So it has made the exact square, and now Saturn is moving retrograde. So it's moving sort of away from that square, but it's still in orb of that square. So we're still feeling that, but it's almost like there's a little bit of a lull going on between them. We also have a very powerful yod going on with it's actually moved on a bit from a complete yod, but we do have it if we it was, I'm sorry, let me get clear. It was Pluto and Neptune making a in conjunct to Mars here. But now it Mars has moved on a bit, and it moves from Neptune to Pallas Athena. So we have Pallas Athena in a sextile to Pluto. This is all about opening the lines of communication. This is about governance because we're dealing with Pallas Athena. And then this is the Mars in Leo is the free will of the individual. But there is a pressure on that free will of the individual to a certain extent, what's the word I'm looking for? To cooperate, to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. There's a certain amount of perhaps personal freedom that we're being asked to adjust our sense of that personal freedom, adjust our actions to be more in alignment with what is necessary at this time and what this full moon is showing us. We also have in this full moon, let's see, we also have an opposition between Jupiter and Venus. This was exact about 2 days ago. This brings awareness as well. The inconjunct between Pluto and Mars requires us to make adjustments. These adjustments that we're being required to make come from the outside. So this is society pushing against us. Do you want to be part of the group? Then you are going to have to make adjustments in the way that you act when it comes to your autonomy. Not to make this political, I always say that and then I make it political, but I'm going to talk about the former president here. His Mars actually is right around this degree, if not at this degree, of his own personal Mars. So he's having a Mars return, and this is the setup for him. So there's a lot of pressure on him to follow the rules, so to speak. We'll see how that goes. That's another video for another day, and maybe I will do that for you to help us understand, because as much as we don't want to hear his name or hear his voice or any of that, he's still around, so he obviously still has something to teach us. We also have a pretty tight square between Pluto and Eris, which has been going on for years now, but Eris just changed direction. And when one of these outer planets change directions, they create there's a lot of power in them. And so we have this energy of the feminine very, very powerfully square this Pluto. This relationship is a last quarter square because Pluto is actually the faster moving planet in this combination. But we have Pluto here, we have it in conjunct to Mars, and then we have Eris trining Mars. So revolution is really powerful here. Change and revolution is here. So there's a lot of energies all happening at once, and this is a really it's sort of an upheaval. It's an upheaval of sorts, and as we are upheaved, vibrationally, I think we're moving up, right? We're moving sort of moving up the ladder. So this period between full moons, which is, we can have there's always periods between full moons, but I feel like this period between this full moon, the new moon in Leo, that's going to be happening in 2 weeks, and then that full moon in August, also in Aquarius. There's like almost like these full moons are like parentheses, right, to a situation that we could easily put parentheses around. So let me explain. There are times in your life when you say, oh, I remember that month, or I remember that moment, or that time in my life. It's that kind of thing. It's that amount, it's that point of time where you say, oh, wow, so I have an awareness. I need to plant a seed of my own creativity when that new moon comes around, and then we have another full moon, so we'll have more awareness. So there is a lot of things brewing at this time, and we will become aware of what we become aware of, and then we'll have another flush of that in a month. So we have to keep our eyes open with this. We do have also in this chart, we have Mercury making a trine to Neptune. This is going to be exact tomorrow. This is direct connection to spirit here. And so we will be hearing the voice of spirit in whatever way spirit talks to us. And so we need to definitely take a listen to that. This Mercury is also square. Okay, so we have an opposition between Pluto and Mercury that is going to become exact over the next week, and square Eris. So there's all of this oppositional force. There are points where that oppositional force is getting activated by planets squaring it, such as Eris. So this is going to be a very potent and powerful time. We have Black Moon Lilith here at 0 degrees, at 1 degree of Gemini, squaring the opposition, right, between Jupiter and Venus. And this is another archetype of the divine feminine. So there's this real energy of the divine feminine. And I think yesterday I heard that there were, I heard it yesterday, 14 government government contacts, like people that you would, there's a word for it, but they were connected to the government. They're kind of like informants. I think it was informants who have been arrested for planning the abduction of Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan. And they said if it wasn't for these government informants, there probably wouldn't have even been a plan. So it seems that the plan to kidnap her came from within the government. Of course, we all know that was Trump, right? So, but I mean, he's not going to be held accountable probably for it, but the people who he sent to do his dirty work will be. So we can see these illuminations around these feminine figures. And when we look at the commission, the January 6th commission, that's going to start next week, it's really being powered by this alliance, really, between Nancy Pelosi, who's an Aries and has a very powerful Eris. She has the Sun conjunct Eris, and Liz Cheney, who has her Mars square Eris exactly. She has a Mars in Cancer square her Aries Eris. And I believe it's a first quarter crisis in action square. So here's two very powerful women to the certain extent at the top of their, we have Nancy as the Democrat and Liz Cheney as the Republican, and they're joining forces for justice, really. And despite what you know, the other Republicans are doing, like what's his name, McCarthy, who's just really interested in the next election and could care less about voting or what's going on, or who's right or who's wrong, or if there was an insurrection. He just is looking to get the House um, in 2022. But we are at a crisis point, and I mean, he's depending on the fact that, you know, in 100 years, it always seems to go to the power, the party that's not in power, right? So if there's a Republican in, the House goes to the Democrats. If there's a Democrat in, the House goes to the Republican. And I guess there's a chance that that could happen, but we have to be here now. We can't be here 2 years. There is something that needs to be taken care of now, and people are going to take care of it. And so we're just at this place that's just fascinating to me. Fascinating to me. And Liz Cheney is a Leo. She is a Leo. Her birthday is the 28th. So her birthday, her solar return is like all in the middle of this. In fact, let me take a, I just want to, just give me a moment here. I want to check something. So I just checked. I believe the commission is starting on Wednesday or Tuesday, maybe the 27th, and Cheney's birthday is the 28th. So this is sort of a solar return for her. So powerful, powerful time. And the feminine is rising, guys. The feminine is rising, and I think we'll take down the great orange, you know, the great orange one. So let's do a card reading now. Now that we've looked at the chart. So let me stop the share here for a second. Okay, I got a new deck of cards that I want to use. It's the Druid Craft Tarot. Druid Craft Tarot. So let's take a look. And what do we need to be aware of? Because these full moons bring a certain amount of awareness. So let's see. Let's ask about the U.S. first, and then we will talk about some other places. What is it that we are to? What are the lessons in this? Actually, you know what? Let's not ask about the U.S. first. Let's just ask about general lessons to learn from this full moon. What is it that we're being? What is being revealed to us? See what the cards have to say. These cards are kind of big, so they're a little hard to shuffle, but they're actually easy to shuffle because they're very slick, but they're big, so they're hard to handle. Okay, so we're starting with the Five of Wands. This is a time of chaos here, a little bit of chaos, but we can see if we look at these fellas, they're kind of playing. They're playing, right? They're playing with the crisis. So I feel like this can be a very creative card, but we can see that it's like boys playing in the fields, like creating chaos, right? And then over here we have this little chicken who could care less and is scraping the earth for food, right? So this is the reality of perhaps politics, all the shenanigans with politics that are going on, and then what the people really need, right? They're not paying attention to what the people really need. Let's see what's crossing this. We have the Four of Swords. This is a card of rest and recuperation. This can also be a card of lockdown. So there's this sort of need for creating a certain amount of chaos, but what's crossing it is that people are not available. They are in a situation where they need to stay put. So that's interesting. Let's see what's at the root. The Chariot. So this is a time for us to move forward. this is a time for us to move forward. It is a time of the next evolutionary step in our journey. This is a Cancer card, actually. The Chariot is a Cancer card. And we have that Mercury in Cancer, right? Opposite Pluto and square Eris. So we can see that in this card right here. So, sort of getting on the horse, getting in your chariot and riding to where you need to go. In the past, we have the Magician. So this speaks of power. It speaks of focus. We see there's the little chicken again. The chicken is back. Um, so I almost feel like the chicken in the past, interesting, I've never read cards like this. The chicken in the past is very aware of what the magician is doing. And over here, the chicken is not really paying attention to these young men who were, play fighting here. Um, because the chicken knows. Goodness gracious, what kind of reading is this? In the sky, we have victory. We have victory. So there is success. There's success in the sky. And we have the Queen of Swords in the immediate future. This is justice. This reading feels like the United States and this whole commission, the January 6th commission. That's what this feels like. The queens are sitting in judgment of the situation. This is a justice card. This is a no nonsense queen. This is a queen who stands by herself. So in how it's seen from the outside, the Seven of Pentacles, a need for pruning, a need for pruning, a need for, in this case, it looks like this person is taking some mistletoe off this oak tree. So there, mistletoe is poisonous. So a need to, so what it seems like from the outside, and this seems to be a US reading, so we'll call it that, is a need to get rid of the parasites. The parasites. This is a parasite, even though mistletoe is considered, holy and sacred and stuff. It is a parasite to the oak tree, and the tree, of course, is the structure of our society. Let's see the domestic situation. We have the Ace of Wands, so we have new beginnings. So there's this sense of new life, new beginnings, things being illuminated. This is a Leo card. This is a Leo card. This is in the Kabbalah. This is the card associated with the vibration of 27-9. 27-9 is endings and new beginnings. And it is associated with the root of fire, which is Leo. The root of any element is going to be found in the fixed sign within that element. So for fire, it's Leo. For earth, it's Taurus. For air, it's Aquarius. And for water, it's Scorpio. But we're talking about Leo here. And we're in Leo. The sun just moved into Leo. We have hopes and fears, the three of Pentacles. This is a hope that they're going to work together to make something, to build, to really find out what's happening. But it's also a fear that dark money will interfere. And we have the sun. We have illumination, guys. Illumination, illumination. And this might be, actually, we'll have some illumination at the point of that second full moon, right? Second full moon. And underneath it all here, we have the Eight of Wands. This is all the information coming fast and furious. The Empress, which can be the feminine. It can be the power of the feminine. Again, I'm talking about Pelosi and Cheney, but this can also be Russia, Mother Russia. Some people see the Empress as Mother Russia. It could be finding connections between what transpired and Russia, and then the Two of Cups are coming together, and Yeah, I think that this commission could very well be there to root out the rot of the Trump administration and all of the people who are standing by that. Um, so that, wow, that was powerful and interesting. Um, I want to take a look also for this full moon, if I could. I want to take a look at England, Great Britain, and Great Britain and Australia. The Delta variant is pretty running rampant, I guess, um, in the Sydney area, I believe, and it's a very low vaccine rate in Australia for various reasons, mostly mismanagement of the whole situation. For us in America, it was mismanaged for a year, and then Biden came in and was able to get the gears moving, and so we're in a much better position. But we are a rich country, and that's of course it's easier when you're a rich country to be able to do that. Not every country can do that. So, um, but let's take a look at Great Britain. We have justice the first. So this is a balancing of the scales, perhaps, a balancing of the scales, the need for balance. We can see the little owl there. So we have wisdom, the need for wisdom. Let's see what's crossing that. We have the high priest crossing it. This is Boris Johnson. So we need justice. And what's crossing balancing of the scales is actually the person in charge. The person in charge. Um, at the root, we have the Lord, which is the Emperor card. Again, this is about dominion. This is about agency. It's about rulership. So at the root of the situation that we find in um, in Great Britain is the actions of the leader. In the past, we have the death card, transformate. This could be him being very, very sick with COVID. Um, in the sky, we have celebration, friendship, amity. So that's interesting to have in the sky. Let's see what's in the immediate future. We have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands. So um, I'm wondering if this is even the Queen. Now, the Queen of England is a Taurus, so she would be more likely come across as the Queen of Pentacles. But the Queen of Wands is an energy of hearth and home, hearth and home. I almost feel like people are going to stay home. I know everything's opening up, and I think things are opening up in Great Britain, but I feel like most people are going to stay home. They don't trust it somehow. Those people who can't stay home will stay home. How it's seen from the outside, the Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups. I'm going to hold on to that. I'm not sure what that means quite yet. We have in the domestic situation temperance. So I feel like people are going to temper their actions. They're going to be very. They're not going to be like the Americans. Oh, this is my right. I can breathe all over you, and because it's my constitutional right to spread disease. That's not England. That's America. So they're going to be, I think, much more temperate. Hopes and fears is success. They want to have success and the outcome. The Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this is those people who can afford to stay home are going to be much more better off. We have the Prince of Cups. See if we can pull a major arcana. We have the Prince of Wands. So there's all of this energy of movement and taking action, and the Five of Pentacles. So that's not good. That's I think that the action was taken um, because of oh my God, um, economic reasons, right? Economic reasons. We have the Five of Cups underneath, the Five of Swords, and then the Six of Wands. So eventually there is victory here, but not without a lot of suffering and a lot of heartache. So what it looks like here is the government is saying one thing and the people are going to do another thing. I think the people are going to be examples of how it is, um, following their lead. Following their lead is better than following the lead of the people who are supposed to be leading in the case of Great Britain. So let's take a look at Australia, and then I think we'll be set with this full moon reading. Oops. Again, these cards are unwieldy. Okay, that's almost there. Sorry. Like I said, these cards are awful big. So this is for Australia. Australia. Okay. So the immediate environment, the King of Wands. This is a leadership, dominion. Let's see what's crossing that. Anxiety, anxiety. People in Australia are terrified of what's out there. Let's see what's at the root. Um, this is a sense of isolation. They feel somewhat isolated. They feel, but in that isolation is coming out of wisdom. There's a wisdom here. There's a knowing. Things are being processed by the people. We have the Queen of Cups in the past. This is a card of psychism. It's a card of compassion. It's a card of healing, tea and sympathy. It's compassionate. It's empathic. It's emotional. In the sky, we have the Queen of Wands. I feel like women are going to be somehow, I feel this energy of the women coming out again. This was reflected in the chart with Eris and Black Moon Lilith. There's this need for the women to come and take power, and we have the Tower card for you guys in the immediate future. So a realization is coming. A realization is coming. I think that this King of Wands at the beginning might be you guys have a prime minister, I think. Um, this is on him. This is on him. And these realizations are going to be around him, I believe. How it's seen from the outside. Um, there's actually a positive spin on this, maybe a need to sort of reach out, a need to reach out into the world to bring energy or commerce in to Australia. I think that there are people willing to help Australia, and they need to maybe open up to the possibility of that. Domestic situation, the Three of Cups. It's possible that people will drink their way through this pandemic, or it might be possible that they are drinking their way through this pandemic. But this is also a card of friendship. And so I would like to think that it would increase and bring out people, helping people kind of energy in Australia. We have hopes and fears, the Princess of Pentacles, of course, people worrying about the economy as well they should. And we have the High Priest at the end here. This is listening to the still small voice within. This is a more powerful energy in its way than the King of Wands. I almost feel like, and I don't know your governmental system there, I almost feel like the government is going to step in. The government is going to step in here in a way that they maybe haven't done previously, or I don't, I'm not sure. I hate to make this so America centric, but I don't know, maybe America comes in to help their situation. Underneath it, we have the Wheel of Fortune, so a change of fortune, the Five of Pentacles. Um, this is economic uh, downturns, economic ruin. Then we have the Prince of Wands. So I feel like they are going to get help from outside. That whether I don't think England, Great Britain is in a position to help. The United States is probably in a better position to help Australia somehow. But I feel like there's going to be somebody who actually knows what they're doing, coming in or helping the powers that be to bring this under control in Australia. So that's what it looks like to me. I don't exactly know what any of that means. So, but I'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I realize that I can't, maybe it's best, the focus is off. It is early here. And I'm fresh as a daisy out of bed. So all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for your donations. It's greatly appreciated. And for those of you who have been supporting me through putting my mom in a nursing home, I want you guys to know I really appreciate it. She was placed in a nursing home, and I went to see it yesterday, and it seems like a really lovely place. So I'm very relieved, and I thank you for all your support through this very challenging period for myself. So much love, everyone.